Esmaab والمنفس قدوس أحد أملا እግዚአብሔር ቸር እንደሆነ ቅመስ እዩ በእርሱ የሚታመን ሰው ምስጉን ነው. O taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that trusted in him. We received the question from Adrian from JA asking, Yadin, are you saying that sweet calamus equals sweet cannabis? Respond if you can. Give thanks and praise, Adrian from JA, for your inquiry, because this allows us an opportunity to explain another important aspect of the cannabis matrix, as well as this study, as well as some key principles that one needs to learn and utilize in their own personal study and in other Bible study and study groups. First of all, the confusion and the systemic anomaly or the error program in the matrix, the King James version of the Bible matrix, it occurs because of the imposition of the English translations and the use of the old KJV, King James 1611 terminologies to describe ancient ideas, ancient symbols, ancient ideas from their culture that modern science only now has begun to more properly disclose more evidence that we can use to get a more accurate picture. First of all, cannabis, the word cannabis is composed of two Hebraic root words, kaneh and bosem or besem, and that is what we know today as cannabis. Now, calamus is a kaneh as well as it is a bosem, or it's described as a bosem, but it is not cannabis. So we're stating that sweet calamus, the translation of this as sweet calamus, is a interpolation, not even an interpretation, based on the 1611 knowledge and medieval Europe, based on the plants and the herbs that they were familiar with. They translated Kanehbosem, Kaneh meaning a stalk or a cane, and bosem used to describe sweet or a sweet smelling. See, the key thing about Kanehbosem, you understand, in the word bosem, is that bosem means spices or sweet smelling spices, and this is key and critical to what Exodus chapter 30 verse 23 is disclosing to us. Okay, just for example, take chocolate. Take what we call chocolate. Today's chocolate, well, there's a lot of different kind of chocolates, and many of the chocolates are made from a lot of different kind of things. You understand, different type of substance, combination of substances. Well, you have coca. You understand, you have the actual coca. You understand, but is coca chocolate? You understand, are all chocolates equal? You understand, but they all have the name of chocolate. You understand, I mean, even with herb. You understand, there's a form of herb, you understand, which is called chocolate. It doesn't really grow that way, but it's manufactured that way, but it's given this name. You understand, for a certain idea. What I'm trying to express by this is saying that it's similar with the key Hebraic root words, kaneh and bosem. Bosem in its own right means sweet smelling spices, you understand, or sweet smelling shrub or bushes, you understand, and kaneh means cane. Now, or like a cane stalk in that sense, and we know that's also a reference used for herb. So we have to look at in this cannabis versus sweet calamus or sweet flag, they also call calamus sweet flag and calamus root, usually on a medicinal level, as some of the other subscribers and commenters had made reference to, that the calamus root is used medicinally. But now the word calamus, or the name calamus, bears no similarity to cannabis, while the root Kanehbosem bears more similarity from a linguistic approach to cannabis. So cannabis, Kanehbosem, there's a link there. Kanehbosem, calamus, there's no link there. if you do a little more research, as we did, we found out that in addition to sweet flag and calamus and its various medicinal uses, it's known as a bitter root, you understand, as well as by the name Acorus calamus. It grows in wetland. This is also key and interesting from a cultural perspective, is that it grows in a wetland area. You understand? And if you look at Exodus 30, verse 23, at what point in the journey the Israelites were in, they were not in a wetland area. So from a cultural point of view, Kanehbosem, or cannabis, what we call marijuana today, was easier to find, you understand, in the cultural geographic location that the Israelites were in during their wilderness journey. So that's another reason. We're going down to the list of reasons. Now, when we look at calamus, calamus come from calamos, and calamos is a Greek mythological, you understand, god, so to speak, who turned, or mythological figure who turned into a reed out of grief for his young male lover Carpos, who drowned. So this is another reason why we have to distinguish the true holy herb, you understand, Kanehbosem, from this calamus, you understand, mythology that has dovetailed into the scripture. And lastly, but not leastly, because we're just briefly touching on the linguistic reasons, which are very interesting, the cultural reasons, which you just made, which is relevant to what type of plant or root calamus is, as opposed to Kanehbosem. Then the economic reasons should be obvious by now, because when you look into the scripture gives a couple of examples where we get to learn that this, quote, sweet calamus or sweet spice was also a Semayat والمنفس قدوس أحد أملاك.